What's up, YouTube? Here back again with my second video on the channel. Just another low budget video shot with my camera. As I was sitting here today, I thought about, the three aspects of my life that I've been working on the past 12 months in order to become the man that I want to be in this life. For those who know me, I have very large ambitions, and the path that I've chosen for my life is kind of a challenging one, but I feel like I'm up to the challenge so long as I move. I make my next moves, my best moves. So for me, the three aspects that I thought were the most important for me to work on was my physical well-being, my mental well-being, and my spiritual well-being. Today I want to talk about the mental. About 7 years ago, I was hospitalized and I had to have surgery. I was laid up for about a year, surgery on my leg. I was laid up for about a year, missed my entire junior year of high school. I mean, I still graduated on time because, I had people looking out for me. But it put me in a really bad place mentally. I was depressed. I gained a bunch of weight. I couldn't go outside. And then when I did start walking again, it was like every step was painful. I started to have to wear these compression stockings, which made me feel less than. It was just a lot going on. Compound this with the fact that I was already suffering from low self-esteem, and it wasn't a good, combination. It wasn't a good cocktail for mental health. And this went undiagnosed for years. The self-esteem, the self-loathing, the depression, all of it kind of I just bottled it up, kept moving from day to day. Because, if I allowed myself to stop and think about everything that was going on in my life or going on in my head, I probably would have quit on myself a long time ago. I would have given up. I would have cried. But here's the thing about bottling up your emotions. The bottle only has so much space. And when it eventually breaks, it comes out in very unhealthy ways. And for me, it was the constant stress eating. It was the random moments where I'd be alone by myself, where I would just, break down because I feel like the world didn't care about me, didn't love me. And despite doing what I had to do, always, working multiple jobs, never being lazy, always trying to perform to the best of my ability despite my physical limitations, I wasn't getting anywhere in life. And it wasn't until I woke up one day and I was like, you know what, Dylan, let's try it this way. For one entire year, I want you to big yourself up no matter what happens. If you fail, forgive yourself. Be patient with yourself. Take time. Let things fall into place. Because maybe the constant beating up on yourself, and this is something I internalized from childhood, and we can get into more of that, into that later on once, you guys have gotten to know me a bit better on this channel. But I internalized a lot of negative, energy from a lot of other people, especially with the way they thought about me. And I started to think about myself in that way. So this year, more forgiving with myself, and I started to read again. One of the things in my childhood that really got me through my childhood was reading a lot. So I started picking up books again. And oddly enough, as I lost lost myself within the pages within the stories on those pages, I started to relate to the characters more. I started to, get out of myself a little bit, out of my head. And I realized that in order for me to truly address the mental health problems that I had going on, I needed to start being honest with myself. Not cruel, but honest. Take a hard look at myself, catalog my flaws, catalog my, I can't think of the word right now, let's say pros, and catalog my pros. If I take a full accounting, a full inventory of who I am as a man, I will be able to fix the part of me or the parts of me that I don't really quite like. So, I started to put them down on paper. The first thing I put was, you're fat, you need to get in shape. But you're very well spoken. You have a slightly above average intelligence, and you can use that. You need to lose weight. Let's put the work in. Let's get disciplined. Discipline was hard for me because I was naturally gifted academically. I never really developed the discipline to, get shit done that somebody who had to struggle to get good grades would have. Or maybe I just didn't have the right support or motivation in my life, but I'm done blaming other people for my failures. Another thing I said was I was socially awkward, right? But I'm a very generous spirit. So let's try to, get people into my life who are just as generous a spirit as me, but also who won't take my kindness for granted, won't take me for granted, because even though I am a generous guy, I do like to be appreciated. Well, I had some pitfalls here and there, as we all do. But the point I'm trying to get to is the best way to start addressing the mental health problems that you feel like you may have is to take a full inventory of yourself as a person, specifically as a man, for me. Write down what you think your flaws are, write down what you think your positives are. The parts of you you don't like, fix them. The parts of you you're proud of, enhance them. After a year or two of this kind of thinking, you'll start to realize what you were meant to do on this earth, what you were meant to, accomplish, because you would see the skill sets that you have, you would see the desires that you have, and you would know, I'm meant to do more. Well, at least for me, I was meant to do more with my life than to just coast by working, 9-to-5 jobs and not making any impact. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with today. Take a full inventory of yourself as a person, and that is the best way to address any mental health concerns you may feel like you may have. For me, it was depression. Once I started to catalog my flaws and my positives, and I started to fix the part of me I didn't like, I'm not gonna say I don't have moments where I don't get sad or even depressed or I just want to give up. But because I know who I am as a man, I have the ability to, push through. I have the ability to, rewire my thinking, so to speak, in order to try to become a better person, because I have large ambitions and I can't do that if I'm constantly beating myself up for, always making a single mistake. So YouTube, thank you for this long video. Thank you for sitting with me for this extra long video today. I usually don't make them this long. You guys have a wonderful one. Till next time.